So if you're someone who struggles with that massive over-the-top golf swing, no matter what you do, you can't fix it, but you want to go to the driving range, work on some good drills to be able to get the feeling you want and hit some straighter shots, we've clicked on the right video because that's exactly what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to show you 2 drills that you can do on the driving range that will result in a better swing path and less over-the-top golf shots. So I'm Jonathan Chown with JChownGolf. Let's dive right into it. So guys, let's get straight into the first drill, and as you can see, what's obstructing the view of me is this training aid here, which we need for this first drill. Now, this is going to train our left arm depth. So what that means, the deeper anything is in our backswing, and our golf swing in general, means more behind us. So if my left arm is getting deeper in my backswing, it's traveling a little bit more around me, a little bit more with the hands behind me. So with golfers who do this wrong, and this results in their over the top, is they're not necessarily getting too much depth, they're not getting enough of it. So where their left arm is traveling far too high at the top of their backswing, that means the hands are going to be over your body, and then when that left arm and the hands are too much on top of you, too vertical, then as soon as you turn down the downswing, the club will be thrown out in front of you, because as soon as you rotate, your hands follow your rotation. Even if it's in good sequencing, with lower body and mid-torso turning first, if you have a lack of hand depth, doesn't matter, you're going to swing over the top. So that's where this comes to the rescue. Swing plate. So the swing plate, this is with the extension pole of it. So all this is, a plate, alignment stick coming out of it, big extension. So if I put this golf ball underneath, halfway underneath the swing plate in this direction, but the swing plate itself is actually a hand's distance outside my right shoulder, all I want to do now is swing underneath the stick. So if I successfully swing underneath this stick, my left arm is going to be traveling more around me, my hands are going to be getting deeper at the top of the backswing, and of course that's going to encourage me to swing on a good path. But also, I'm not going to swing over the top, am I? Because I'm going to hit the stick, so it's not going to be a fun time. So let me swing underneath this. We'll talk about a little bit more how to do it properly as well to get those arms traveling around. But you're not going to swing over the top with this, of course you're not. You're going to be hitting it and swinging a little bit more like that, more around you on a better path. This is going to be, most of you who are watching this video, you're not having enough left arm depth. So a lot of the reason why you don't have enough left arm depth, because you're still trying to resist your turn in the backswing. You're still not getting enough backswing rotation. Didn't we just say with the downswing that when you turn, the hands fire out in front of you? They always follow your rotation. Same thing happens in the backswing. They don't go out in front of you though. They go around you. Your hands follow your rotation. So other than just trying to pull your hands around you, because you don't want to be doing that doing this drill, you want to be using your body's turn correctly. You want to be turning your body nice and freely, getting, let's say, the belt loops on the back of your trousers pointing down towards the target, getting a good full hip turn, which will then encourage you to get those hands deeper, more around you. As soon as you rotate more, hands are going to travel around. So get those belt loops on the back of your trousers, either pointing at the target or pointing just left of it, the top of the backswing. You'll have no trouble swinging underneath this, and you'll also swing on a better path. So let's do that, and let's give it a go. Okay, here's drill number 2. So this drill as well is going to help you massively. So again, you can see swing plate is still here, but I've not extended out the pole massively. So this is really going to block, of course, just the path portion of your downswing here. So we're going to use this for that physical kind of deterrence, for that attribute that you have in there, that club going real on the outside. That's going to stop this. Of course, if you do, you're hitting the stick. But we're also going to be using more of a thought with this as well, where like we used a little bit of thought with the lead arm depth, we're trying to get the belt loops pointing down towards the target for more turn. We're also going to do a thought here to keep the club moving on path, because I see a lot of golfers here, they might have an adequate amount of left arm depth. So we know from what we've seen so far, that means left arm covering the right shoulder there. And then I might still see golfers, wham, swing right over the top. So one, you can see if you do that, hitting the stick again. But why players are doing that? Because they're rotating their chest far too fast in transition. They're starting their sequencing in the downswing with their chest, where if you do that, the club is going to throw right out in front of you. So we want this to be calmed down. like we said a little bit in the left arm depth, we want the lower body and mid-torso to rotate first in the downswing. We want this movement to happen. So you can see how my chest really isn't doing much, just rotating lower body and mid-torso. If I do that from the top of my downswing, or top of my backswing, start down there, you can see how the club is going to fall on path easier rather than massively throwing it over the top there. So you can imagine if I'm having a thought that calms down my chest rotation in transition with a drill like this, I'm not going to be swinging over the top, so I can have a really good range session and getting a very good practice in. So again, halfway underneath, but this time I'm putting this stick about half a club's distance behind me, half a club's distance in front from that point. So what I'm going to be thinking, yes, swinging underneath this, of course, that alone will actually work my sequence quite nicely, but I want to be getting up to top. As soon as I start that downswing, I want to feel like my chest is pointing to you as long as I possibly can. So pointing at you there, sitting at home watching this, I want to keep that chest pointing there as long as I can in the downswing. That will calm down my chest's first initial rotational move, because like we said, we want this to be quiet. And then as I'm moving down, as I start turning the rest of my body, that will then naturally pull my chest's rotation through the golf ball. So I'm swinging underneath this, but I'm pointing my either microphone or zipper on my gilet at you for as long as possible in that downswing there. So let's have a shot here. So as you can see, that definitely swings you a little bit more on the inside for sure. If you swung over the top, you're going to know it real quickly here. So again, getting up to the top of the backswing, making sure that from top of the backswing transition, pointing my zipper at you, and then just swinging underneath it, hitting the golf ball. There we go. So if you get a lot of these in, whether it's this one or it's the left arm depth, you're going to be having a very productive range session to fix your over the top. It's going to hit a lot of you out there for how many of you will do one of these two things. There are more ways to swing over the top. I'll put a card up here for a video on different ways you can swing over the top, as there's loads of root causes to it. This really only addresses a couple, but brilliant way to practice on the driving range regardless if you want. Something quick to go out to range and have a good productive range session. So, of course, if you like this video, click the like button. If you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video. So do 2 of these drills and you'll stop swinging over the top finally.